Hello and welcome to this video where we'll explore 5 patches with the Wavefonix 6U Eurorack system. Let's check out what's to come. Now in this video, we'll just take a much more casual, leisurely paced exploration through 5 different patches, and these are just things that I kind of wanted to try with the system. Some more traditional subtractive patches, some ring modulation, some quad analog 4-chained oscillator, kind of quad operator FM, making some weird noisy percussion, and just some other patches layering sounds and playing around, finding out what the system sounds like and how some of the modules work. But first, let's check out what's in the system. So here's a quick rundown of this system. We have a MIDI interface, a quad 4 times buffered multiple, 2 dual oscillators, so 4 in total there, a gritty, more lo-fi digital wavetable oscillator, mixer, low pass filter, an ADSR, a voltage controlled ADSR, a noise source with a nice random LFO on there, a quad VCA, envelope follower, ring modulator, dual sample and hold, a clock divider, sequencer, linear attenuator, a dual switch, a passive multiple, 2 dual LFOs, and a more complex voltage controlled syncable LFO, so 5 LFOs in total there, a 3-channel stereo panning mixer, and an output module. So it's a comprehensive system, and there's some customizable options online, and you can do this totally custom if you want to contact Wavefonix and build a rig with them. But that's just a quick look. Check out the website for more info on all the individual modules. So here's a patch with 4 oscillators mixed together with PWM from 4 LFOs, another LFO is driving an envelope generator which modulates my filter, and there's some FM from this input oscillator here as well. Let's break down this patch and kind of start from the beginning. Here's the first oscillator, second in unison, 5th, and that top note there. We can add some PWM from these LFOs, or just free running. It's just this huge, rich beating sound. Filters back really nicely in that low pass filter. And then this ADSR here modulates FM1, controlled by this LFO, just gating the envelope with it. And I have some FM coming from the second oscillator here into this FM2 input. Adding this really kind of gnarly overtone. We could try the different oscillators here. And it's nice to just have that additional overtone from the FM. To blend in to that oscillator. Could also use, say, the noise generator. Just take some pink noise and add this kind of crispy, kind of crust to the filter as that noise modulates the cutoff. So here's a very different sounding patch from the traditional subtractive synthesis in the rest of the system. This is a digital wavetable oscillator, and I'm using 3 LFOs to modulate its main waveform, its sub-waveform, and the bit crushing of these waves. Now removing the modulation, this is the main waveform out, where we can smoothly morph between a slightly more lo-fi, characterful, gritty kind of wavetable there. LFO modulation leads to some really nice shifting waves. Now here's the sub out, and this will step between its waveforms rather than smoothly morph. You can hear octave shifts in this wavetable and the aliasing on the sine-like wave. And again, that's something that we can modulate. And even though this is a triangle LFO, you can hear that stepping of the waveform. Now turning both waveforms back on in my mixer, and they are just panned ever so slightly. Here's the bit crush, which will attenuate this incoming LFO, but I can remove it for now. Adding more character, distortion, pushing that kind of gritty lo-fi digitalness with the LFO. I like these flurries of just kind of noisiness. Modulating the wave again, and the sub CV. So this patch started as an exploration of the ring mod. This oscillator is my carrier, and this one is my modulator. We can get some nice ring modulated tones. And one thing when you've got FM or ring mod going, it's quite fun to play around with sequencing one of the two oscillators that's in the patch, rather than both playing the same thing. So the carrier here, just playing a random arpeggio, or the modulator, and we get quite different tones. And with this just bouncing around in octaves, I wanted to accent this patch by taking the saw into a filter and blending that, but by using modulation that's not playing at the same rate. So for example, if I close down my VCA for this main ring modulated sound, that's my bass clock rate. By splitting the clock in the multiple here, this envelope controls this sound, and I'm dividing it for divide by 2 for this envelope that plays in this filter. Now it's playing the same pattern. If I make this an arpeggio, they're at the same rate. You can hear these accents on every second note, could be every fourth. So while this started as a way of kind of exploring chained 4-operator FM, it's turned into a way to make weird percussion, and I'm totally fine with that. So we start with the sound of a single triangle wave. Its FM is modulated by the triangle wave from the oscillator next to it. Get a nice FM tone, but then the modulating oscillator has its FM modulated by the one next to it. And I'm blending between linear and exponential FM types across the oscillators here. And I really like this not quite in tune beating. It's the equivalent of kind of two big rich unison oscillators. And then this oscillator is modulated by this one is then modulated by this one. with this lovely kind of rich, beating, moving sound. This all comes into a VCA. And not happy with the amount of harmonics present in chaining for triangle waves with FM there, I'm taking the output of this one into this VCA, just used as an attenuator here to control the amplitude of this main waveform. And you can hear we get that richer waveform by modulating the amplitude there. Still not happy with the amount of audio rate modulation. This all comes into a filter, and I'm using these final two modulators here to come into the FM inputs. Giving this rich audio rate filter modulated 4-chained FM oscillator AM VCA modulated sound. All of that into a VCA here, just as a final level control, controlled by this envelope. And some pretty interesting percussion sounds. I'm also using this LFO out here, just splitting it into multiple, to go to the vote per octave of our final oscillator there. For some pitch bends, which is really common in percussion synthesis. Some great kind of abstract alien hi-hats. This is the sort of thing that I would sample out, clean up, EQ and turn into custom little percussion hits. So here's a kind of very traditional subtractive sound which the system definitely excels at. So the patch is free of these analog oscillators here. I'm using a buffered mult and an external keyboard to control one CV going to all three oscillators and their saw waves mixed together in this linear mixer. Nice big rich unison. Sound into a low pass filter, pushing that signal level up just to get that kind of afterburn on the filter, touch of resonance, and then I have an envelope to FM1 that plays every time I play a note on my keyboard. Very classic sound. And then using another envelope here with a clock signal to give me this faster pulse. And combining that clocked envelope with the played one. Just gives this great sound and movement from the filter. So that's it for this video on the Wavefonix 6U Eurorack system. Let me know which was your favourite patch below in the comments. And if you'd like me to check out more systems, make more casually paced, leisurely kind of videos, again, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more. If you'd like to support my work and gain access to my exclusive Discord community, also gaining access to patch books and more videos, consider supporting on Patreon. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, all the usual stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.